G'day, Dogman here with another episode of looking at the history of Melbourne. Now, what we have here is a picture out of the history book, and this is Melbourne in 1858. Looks like a bit of a fort's been built, like they've gone and cut down a lot of trees and made some, fairly solid structures. And this is in 1858. So this is actually 23 years after Batman went and negotiated for the land. Now, you look at this and you go, oh yeah, that makes sense. You'd expect a little fort like that, keep everyone safe from the natives in case there's any violence. They're quite well dressed though, the people that came out. At harsh times. Look, there's some people came out from China that are living in tents. So we go along in this picture. We see some more people gathered around having a talk while there's some of the natives there sitting around, and even some sheep there that have been brought out from England with a dog there rounding them up. So here we have is a typical scene of Melbourne. You can see the cracks in the road. It's not very well made, and that is totally believable, given that it's only 23 years and they had no power tools. So this type of settlement is believable. But hang on a second, what's going on here? They built that within 23 years, and that church. You look at this thriving metropolis, and this city was all built within 23 years, right? So how many skilled labourers did they have? The story we were given that, half the people were convicts and thieves, and it turns out that these people were so highly skilled they could make what looks like a scene out of, the Roman Empire. This is someone please explain how this city was built. I just am absolutely dumbfounded. Now, I did some research on some of the churches. Now, this is Scott's church here. Now, that was built in 1 year, all right? It was built in 1874, between 1874 and 1875. At the same time, across the road, right, diagonally across the street, this was being built, right? So you've got a double construction zone. So they reckon that the bluestone in the foundations was brought in from Geelong, okay? So the question is, did they decide, yep, we're building it, and then start cutting out the stone by hand, putting it on a cart, a horse and cart, and carting it off to Melbourne? Or did they have a warehouse that they'd already built in Melbourne for some guy who had some ingenuity and foresight and said, I can make a lot of money off these Christians because I'm going to cut these stones out of the quarry and hope that they decide to buy them. You try and make up stories like this, but it's really, really hard to get your head around. 1 year. So let's just imagine today we get the best architect in Melbourne and we say, design a church, right, in the Gothic style, right? You can't have any computers. You can only use a pencil and some paper and, design it and communicate that design to the construction workers who have to build it with no power tools, no concrete trucks, no transport, no trucks, no cranes, no modern scaffolding, no safety equipment of modern standards, and build this within 1 year. And explain to the people who are building it, who have never built it before. Like, there's only a population of about 100,000 people in Melbourne at the time this was built. So just imagine, out of that 100,000, how do you get that many skilled construction workers to be able to build that at the same time they're building that? This is the Dogman, and my mind is getting blown out of its socket trying to work out what they've told us about the history of Melbourne. Out for now.